Hi everyone, welcome to the Uke Stuff channel. As I'm filming this, my last review was this instrument. This is the Lekato Professional Performance Ukulele. It's a concert-sized ukulele. It was sent to me by Lekato for review purposes. No other payment was received for the review, but they did send me this to review. Its one flaw, really, for the way that it's made, is that it has sharp fret ends. It has a bound fretboard, but the frets extend into it, and if you actually look at the edges of it, you can see that the frets extend into that binding, which shouldn't happen. So basically, the fret should stop before the binding. That would be the most logical thing, which means that the cuts are just too long, and as a result, the frets are too long, and they're going to pop out when the fretboard gets dry, like this one is. Now, I'm not going to do a video on how to oil your fretboard. That's pretty standard. You either get some F1 oil or some fretboard lemon oil or some other kind of fretboard oil or mineral oil that you want to use that's for fretboards. You put it on, you let it soak, and then you wipe it off. You can do that by loosening the strings. You can do that by working around the strings because you've got oil in your hands anyway, so it doesn't really hurt the strings too badly to use that oil as long as you wipe it off afterwards. But what I want to talk about is how I deal with sharp fret ends on a less expensive ukulele. Now, if you're talking about a $1,500 Kamaka, don't do this. But if you're dealing with a less than $60 ukulele that has sharp fret ends, let me show you how I handle it very quickly. And the answer, first of all, is masking tape. And this isn't really wide masking tape, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put masking tape down the sides of the ukulele. So I'll do that here. And just so you see, I just try to cover the edge here where I'm going to be sanding in just a moment. So I'm going to do that and just kind of press it in. So what's going to happen is as I sand, the frets are going to pop through that tape, but the rest of it won't be damaged. And to be fully honest with you, at times when an ukulele really isn't valuable at all, sometimes I won't even mess with the tape. I'll just sand directly on the instrument. But for purposes of saying what is sort of best practice, then I also put on some extra tape just to protect the finish on the front because I don't want to accidentally sand and run over that part of the finish. Okay, so I've got one side done. Let me go do the other. All right, now step 2 is a sanding sponge. And you could also use other sort of sanding devices. I find the sanding sponge is very easy to use and also flexes a little bit and helps you to get focus on just the frets. Now, a real luthier would use special filing tools to file the sides of each fret. On an instrument that costs so little, the main focus is just to get rid of the sharp fret ends. And then what I do is I sand at a 45-degree angle into the masking tape. Now, if you take a look here, what's happening is the fret ends themselves are getting hit by my sanding, and those frets are popping through, and they're getting sanded as I sand. And I also do it down here where I intentionally tape the body a little more. That is feeling pretty good already. Doesn't take a lot to remove fret ends. And I can see the metal frets popping through right over there. Now I'm going to do the other side. All right, I've sanded both sides. Now let me just take off the tape and see what we've got. I still have a couple that are poking through, partially because that bottom part is sticking out onto the binding. And in this case, I'm going to be super careful and just again sand at that 45-degree angle and try not to damage the side of the ukulele or the bottom, but get rid of those sharp fret ends. There's still that top one has some that's sticking out over the edge. And now there's no more sharp fret ends all the way down. Let's go check out the other side. So after the initial sanding, just pulling off the tape here, there's some tape residue from where I was sanding, and it's generally pretty good, but there are a few spots where again those frets are sticking out. The very bottom flat part is sticking out into the binding. So by hand, I'm going to very carefully sand those. You can hear it hitting. see how that's feeling. Yep, there we go. So it doesn't take long, but it's a very quick solution on an inexpensive ukulele. Again, I would not be doing this on a $1,000 plus ukulele, maybe even not a $200 ukulele. I'd go and I'd buy the special fret files, which I have at home if I need them. And then the other trick is always to check out these guys. And those don't feel too bad. This one's got one bad one. So I'm going to retape this part and then sand that down again at that angle too. So there you go. All the sharp fret ends that this instrument had when it arrived are gone, which makes, again, the playability so much better. Now, the next thing I will do is I will oil the fretboard to get it looking better. Maybe I'll go do that and come right back. All right, so I'm back, all oiled, can you tell? It doesn't take long, and it helps preserve the fretboard, and it makes it also look, I think, so much nicer with that oiled fretboard. So there you have it. No more sharp fret ends, oiled fretboard, and this instrument then is really ready to play. And it's a nice instrument. So again, thanks Lekato for sending this to me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to show how to deal with sharp fret ends on a less expensive ukulele very quickly and efficiently. So thanks so much for joining me for this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.